Alright, so this is a bit of a shorter drive today, and I am freaking amped. Not excited, no. Not excited, not this, not that, this. No, I was just imitating what a lot of ChatGPT based captions look like. And I don't know if y'all ever look at those like AI automated captions, but it's like if you're trying to, like, let's say you're putting in protein for building muscle, it'll be like, protein's the best source for building muscle, not carbs, not fats, not processed sugars, protein. Like it'll do something like that, where it's like not X, not Y, not Z, but A. You know, where it's like, dude, just get to the point. I know you're doing it for dramatic effect, but that's like a telltale sign that you're using AI for your writing, or at least that I've seen. So, anyways, today it is gonna be a freaking sweet Delt day. Yeah, we are meeting up with my lady and my friend. We're gonna be going to his gym, and we're gonna see what's up. We're gonna get a freaking nasty shoulder pump, and we are taking no prisoners. It is just gonna be a fun day to get a nasty shoulder pump. But anyways, woke up definitely on the brighter side of the bed today. I don't know if that's a saying, but I got really good sleep last night. What else did we get? I stayed on my meals, and I noticed if I have a cheat meal the night before, it's just a little tougher to get a good night's rest. So I think that's kind of a sign that I've been overdoing it on the refeeds. You know, the other day I had freaking 2 chicken bakes from Costco. I had one of those big chocolate chip chunk cookies from Costco as well, the ones that you get at the food court. And then I had some orange chicken and some rice. So that, you know, oh, and I also had some Ben & Jerry's. So that was just kind of a little bit of overkill. But stayed on the meals as of yesterday. My meals right now, I mean, they're pretty boring, but it's meal 1, eggs, or 3 eggs, 1 cup white rice. Meal 2, I don't know. I could just go on and on. I could even show you my meal plan and put it in the description below, but it won't really do you any good because, like, we're not the same person. Even if we weighed the same and we had relatively similar metabolism, we don't process nutrients the same. You know, it's like it's not a one size fits all kind of approach, you know, because it really does not fit everyone. So, you know, I'm just thinking about that constantly. You know, different individuals absorb nutrients differently, and of course there are generalizations that you could make, but what's really going to tell you the most is to try out a meal plan and then track it every week. I mean, that's pretty much it. And then based on how your physique is changing, you make adjustments accordingly. It's not, you know, the concept isn't complicated, but the nuances of it are, where it's like, okay, you know, I used this carb and I used this protein source, and it gave me this physique change. But that's also considering that you're hitting everything else, like your sleep's in check, your stress management's in check, you know, everything's everything's steady, you know. You got to make sure that all the variables are staying the same so that you know that, all right, maybe if I do this to my food, it'll produce this physique change. But anyways, yeah, feeling freaking amazing today. I think for shoulders, we're going to be doing something along the lines of probably like a side raise, front raise, some type of press, and then something for upper traps, because it's just freaking cool, you know, to get a really good upper trap pump. You kind of get that, like, I don't know, like brick house look. Like, it's like you just, like, if you go to a party and you're like, all right, which dude or gal do I not mess with? Yeah, it's probably the guy with big traps, or probably the gal with big traps, you know? I don't know. But anyways, we are also doing well with the meditations. Yeah, those are freaking rocking and rolling. And I've noticed the simpler that I make it, the better it is. And I think that is a really good rule for life in general. You know, you kind of have these patterns. So if you can make something as simple as possible, you're probably going to execute it a lot more efficiently. Like if you gave, I don't know, like if you gave like a first grader a problem, you'd probably want to give them something super simple so they can execute it pretty quickly. So I'm not saying that any of y'all are first graders, but what I am saying is that, you know, there are levels to this, and the simpler you can make each variable that you need to execute, the better. So if your body really thrives off of going to bed at 9 or 10, or make it even simpler, if your body thrives on going to bed at 9 p.m., waking up at 5 a.m., freaking rock that. Do it. Let's go. But, you know, then there are other people where if your body thrives on going to bed at 1 a.m. and waking up at 8 a.m., do that, you know? So all I'm trying to say is the simpler you can make these variables, the easier they're going to be to execute. I remember, like, Rick Rubin, super famous producer in music. Like, he's worked with like the Beastie Boys, he's worked with Jay-Z, he's worked with Eminem, all these huge artists. Whenever like an artist had like some sort of block, and I say block because the block doesn't, I mean, it exists, but it's just a matter of shifting your perception to see that there is no block at all. So whenever these artists kind of had like what writers would call like a writer's block, or just like a block in creativity, what he would do is he would give them a very small homework assignment. Like, it's literally like if you're writing a song, he just wants them to write one word of that song. Literally one word. You know, like something that is so astronomically easy that you can't mess it up. Like, you're just, you know, and then once you get that down, that's when you kind of create this momentum and you're like, wow, that was super easy. Why did I write 2 words? Now 3 words. Now let's write a full sentence. Now let's write the chorus. Now let's write a verse. You know, it's like you build off of these extremely simple, tiny, I want to say habits, and it could be a habit, but it's more so of just an action. Like, you just have a small action you do, and if you do that small action every day, shit, man, it adds up. It freaking adds up. I mean, putting that into perspective with like meditation, you know, if you're noticing that you're kind of overthinking a lot, or you're just kind of like anxious or, you know, sad a lot of the time, do like, I guarantee if you do 1 minute, literally 1 minute of meditation a day, you'll probably have a lot more centered attention, and you'll probably be at least a little bit more relaxed, you know? So I would not put too much pressure on it. In other words, just do a small action, go from there. See what happens. But that small action, it can definitely lead to big things. So that is just what's on my mind lately. But gotta say, that was a huge circle, but bringing it all the way back to meditation, the simpler I make it, the better. So if I gently just bring my attention back to the mantra over and over and over again, and that's all I'm doing, that's it. That's freaking it. That's all I need to do. And I notice energy levels are better, attention's better, and I'm just freaking happier. Like I kind of get into like this blissful state extremely easy. Like it's like I just don't have to worry about anything. Like I'm just freaking chilling. Like I know that everything's gonna be all right. And it's not only like I know it, it's like I feel it in my body. Like I can embody the all rightness. And that's the coolest part, is like you're literally breathing with contentment, like just knowing that everything's all right, everything's in the place that it needs to be. And at the same time, you want to make it better. You want to make the world as like the best that it can possibly be. And so that's kind of the coolest part out of all this. That's what I really enjoy about all this. But anyways, we are freaking 6 minutes away from the gym, so I'm probably gonna blast one song. Also, if y'all have heard of, I think it's called 6WA by 600 Entertainment. And I think 600 Entertainment is Big X the Plug's group, like rap group. But check out the song 6WA. Dude, if you're into rap, you will not be disappointed. That is for freaking sure. It's like a really good mix of 80s, 90s rap with the new age stuff, just because they kind of like tie in, like obviously 6WA is based off of NWA, so they kind of tie in some of like the Eazy-E verses with it, and so that's pretty cool that they brought that in. But great freaking song. I still have to listen to the rest of the album, but I'll let y'all know how I like it. But anyways, we're gonna freaking get to this, but let's just go get a freaking nasty shoulder pump.